I'm never gonna show up to a wedding and voice that I don't believe in this. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Let's see where they at in 5 years.
Now you just hate.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Those are the people I'm referring to. And I know we all got family members. We know people like that. You know who I'm talking about.
And here we are.
And here we are.
21 years later.
There you go.
How
so
you
that's
doing?
You get what I'm talking about. So I did.
I'm glad you
said
married.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are people I'm talking about. Ain't no need in going to rain on nobody's parade. When I was going, I didn't have an understanding of marriage, but I kept my mouth shut. I understood I wasn't saying that it wasn't gonna work. I was saying that the paperwork, I didn't understand the bond and paperwork of why. Like, we together, right? And that was a conversation between me and you. I enjoy going to the weddings and seeing people in love. I'm talking about that person. It's like,
yeah, somebody who got a little something going on. But you can also, to your point, not necessarily believe that the marriage is necessary. Which is what Chance. That's how he used to feel. And we went to a wedding, and he felt that way so wholeheartedly that he convinced me that it was fine. And so I stopped talking about it too. I was like, well, shoot, I'm with you. As long as we're together, I'm fine.
We're fine.
Although I grew up wanting to be married, right? We were together for years, and I was just like, okay, I'm cool if we just gonna stay together. But we went to this one wedding, and it just shifted something in Chance, and he was like, I think waiting for me to say I still want to get married.
It made sense.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I was against the bond or two people giving their lives together. Giving their lives to each other. It was more or less like how we started the conversation. I was accustomed to people I want a wedding.
Yeah.
Right? And nobody had gave a good representation of what marriage was. And when I heard the man up there preaching, really, and talking about marriage, I was like, oh, legacy. I remember it, sitting there. I had my little black on with the little turtleneck, hot as a mug. I remember I was sitting there with my Durangos on. I was chilling.
You got Carlos over there choking.
And I just remember him talking about legacy and generations of legacy that can be built on two people's bond, and all things that I had never heard but I had knew that this is what I want out of what we have.
Yeah.
And then the benefits of the paperwork was in that. The benefits of the bond under God's eyes in association with that. And I was like, why ain't nobody why?
Why hadn't it been explained that way to you?
So when it made sense to me, I was like, oh yeah, we absolutely got to get married, right? Yeah. So it wasn't against the bond. I'm talking about people who have been hurt in some form or fashion, right? And for whatever reason, and spewing out bad energy. Just don't come. That's just don't come.
I think you made it very clear.
Don't.
But that also leads me to something. There are families, right, who your grandma won't never marry. Maybe your granddaddy won't never marry. Aunts, uncles, your mom and daddy ain't never been married. Like, marriage is not a thing in your family, right? It could be generations of no marriage. You can still be the first, right? Even if you haven't seen representation directly in your family, if that's your desire to build and be married to your partner, and you find yourself in love in a way that you cannot live without this person, and you have decided, I do want to be married, I do believe in what comes along with this, you still can be the first in your family. You still can do it. Even if in your family, somebody has been married and then they're divorced. I am a child of divorce. My parents were together over 20-something years and they divorced. Yet we still got married. I still believe in marriage, right? So just because it doesn't necessarily happen and you may not have anybody encouraging you in your family to get married, if it is your desire and you feel like God has placed you with your partner to be married, to exchange vows and build a life together, and you're willing to do the work, absolutely, you still go forward with that, right? Y'all on the same page with it, baby, you can still get married. It's all right. Okay, even if grandma and mama and dad, whoever, even if they talking to us, sometimes you're gonna have to silence the noise of family or friends or co-workers. Because there's a lot of bitter people in the world. There's a lot of people who maybe even if they're not bitter, they just have never been in love. They don't know what that feels like. They don't know what it looks like. You still can have a fruitful marriage and a beautiful wedding, if that's your business, okay?